Welcome to First and Only SaaS News Digest featured on LinkedIn, covering news, events, and updates that are happening in SaaS community worldwide. Today's digest begins with a recent eWeek.com article that reports the global IaaS, or Infrastructure as a Service market, grew to $44.5 billion. That's over 37% growth in 2019, with 80% of the market being dominated by 5 providers. First, of course, Amazon, leading the world market with a revenue of neighborhood of 20 billion and accounting for almost half of the entire market. The second place in the IaaS market went to Microsoft, nearly with $8 billion in revenue, primarily from the North American market. Then Alibaba in its third place with 62.4% growth in 2019 and revenue surpassing $4 billion. According to Signac Research Vice President at Gartner, digital business technology require 3 things: scalable, elastic, and high-capacity infrastructure platforms like public cloud IaaS, which is why the market witnessed a strong growth, end quote. Our next article covers a recent survey of 2,400 IT decision makers for the report titled Preparing for Post-Pandemic Workspace, How IT Decision Makers are Responding to COVID-19. The report anticipates that between 2020 and 2022, IT subscription services will increase, with many looking for artificial intelligence-based programming and other workspace evolutions that will offer flexibility, security, and affordability. In addition, almost 40% of IT leaders said that they plan to increase their investment in cloud-based networking specifically. Unfortunately, almost 80% of the IT decision makers interviewed reported having to delay projects, with hospitality and education sectors being the hardest hit. But as IT leaders struggle to meet increasing demands of highly distributed teams, we expect to see some more growth in the areas even as pandemic continues. In David Sachs' new article titled The Cadence, How to Operate a SaaS Startup, David boldly explains how the better the startup is doing, the more chaos there is. One way to deal with the chaos, David argues, is by putting your startup on operating cadence. This operating tactics is most useful when scaling upwards from 50 employees, or basically when your company is big enough that not everyone fits in the room. Operating cadence is based on few simple principles, but primary parts involve placing sales and finance departments on one calendar and product and marketing on another. When combined, those calendars create a single operational cadence for the company that reduces some of the feelings of compartmentalization and disconnect that occur in rapidly growing organization. This is a tool that many Series A through Series C startups should consider. Cindy Gordon is the author of our next Forbes.com article titled Why Board Directors and CEOs Must Become AI Literate to Lead Forward. In it, Cindy points out that all Fortune 1000 business leaders have AI-focused initiatives in progress, but that many board directors and CEOs are still relatively uneducated when it comes to AI technology and risk management practices. These leaders need to be able to answer the basics of where their AI algorithms and models are located, and whatever not they possess risk profiles, Cindy says. Quote, AI growth is like a Wild West, and the market is growing to reach over $733 billion, with over 90% of large enterprises using AI to improve their customer interaction journey, end quote. With these types of growth, Sydney's article is the great reminder that board directors and CEOs need to be able to step up to the table and demonstrate a clear understanding of their AI programs. Our final article today comes from Entrepreneur.com, where author Gavin Finn talks about top challenges facing today's B2B sales teams. In order to stand out above the crowd in today's evolving markets, it is more important than ever to adopt the strong strategies, clear communication methods, and up-to-date technology. The first major challenge that Gavin addresses is that of communicating value pointing out that product features don't communicate value. We've heard this before. This is related to his second point, which is that salespeople must show rather than tell by offering opportunities for the customers to interact and become involved with the product. Gavin also highlights the importance of connecting with customers on an emotional level, bringing connections that transcend traditional sales and marketing relationships through engaging educational experiences. These are great tactics to keep in mind as sales teams adopt and evolve. I hope you enjoy SaaS News Digest. The SaaS News Digest belongs to all of us and provides the value to the members of our community simply because of you. Please click on like or insightful button, share the SaaS Digest on your LinkedIn page, and let's work together in developing this community and setting new global standards. My name is Artem Gassan. I'm the general partner at SaaS Growth Ventures, and my superpower is I fuel growth and revenue for SaaS companies. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.